Hi, Esties. Welcome back to another episode of Esthetician Edit. We are here with one of our favorites, Christina from Skin Fitness Therapy. And today we're going to be giving you a taste of what's to come for the Philadelphia ICES show, because you're going to have a workshop.
Yes.
All about ingredients and delivery systems. So this is going to be like a class today. Class is in session. Get your notebooks out. It's Christina. She's like a wealth of knowledge. So I guess if you don't mind, sharing what inspired you to focus on ingredient science. Like, why this class?
Well, as a formulator and esthetician, I realized, in the 30 years I've been doing this, that ingredients, one particular ingredient alone is not going to make a real skin transformation. But it's the ingredient synergy, the delivery system is really key, cellular communication within the skin.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at skin fitness not just on the surface, but as a living biological system. And within that is multiple layers and systems working together. You have the muscle, the fascia, the lymphatic flow, the circulatory network, and the cellular communication. So all of that is what we're working on as estheticians, or we're teaching estheticians to really get true skin transformation, stronger, more resilient skin. Mm-hmm. And so that takes place with, our skin is the largest organ of the body, and it's really designed to keep everything out. Mm-hmm. So when you apply most products topically, it's basically on the surface. It's not going really past it. So you get that temporary feel good plumping hydration, but what we're really targeting is the biological system and how things take place in the extracellular matrix, which is composed of collagen, elastin, fibrillin, and the SGAGs. And I think in the last one,
we talk a lot about SGAGs.
I talk a lot about SGAGs because it's so critical to to the skin transformation and the health of the skin. This is long-term. It's, instantly, but also long-term. So when we're talking about ingredient delivery systems, we have different systems to deliver. We have now nanoinfusion, microneedling, encapsulations, liposomes, and also ozone.
Okay.
Those are the ingredient systems, and also that we have, within Skin Fitness, and that we teach and train on. That really takes it past the barrier. There's different delivery systems, for example, nanoinfusion, where we're not creating an injury, but what we're doing is using a nano tip of pins that creates a vibrational pressure with the pen and a surface tension that separates the corneocytes, which are the flattened cells on the outer layer, and it opens up thousands of channels to deposit product. So, of course, your infusion of what we're putting in is key. What we're teaching is with microneedling, for example, we're creating a controlled injury to allow our body to respond and say, let's produce collagen. We have a healing cascade that's going to take place. With nano, we are taking the ingredient technology, infusing it, and creating that same cascade. So we're starting with, in the extracellular matrix, the SGAGs. Okay, just if I'll talk a little bit about that so that, estheticians can understand why this is a critical part of advanced skincare right now. The SGAGs are the sulfated glycosaminoglycans, and they're really the foundation of the extracellular matrix. So when these macromolecules like decarin, perlecan, Versican, all these things that are very technical, but I will go over all this in Philly. They're key magnets because the sulfated glycosaminoglycans have a sulfur molecule, which creates a negative charge. So it becomes a magnet to hyaluronic.
Okay.
So when that is depleted and weakened as we age, the molecule is not able to attach to the hyaluronic. So if you apply hyaluronic topically, or our bodies are naturally producing it, it's not going to anchor to it because that molecule, that system is weak. So we don't want to just boost collagen. We want to create the environment for generating the new collagen to be a stronger network. That's for optimal health. So in stimulating the SGAGs, we're able to anchor to the hyaluronic, which is then going to hydrate and help to support the collagen and elastin. So the SGAGs are really critical in your treatments. And if you're doing anything that's going to boost new collagen, which is nanoinfusion as well as microneedling, you want to create that environment to be strong so that as it's forming the new collagen network, it's organized optimally so that you get those results. Some clients you may see, well, this one didn't respond as well as that one. They have a weaker immune cells, and that's what you need to be when you're learning what each one of these things do. You're learning to say, okay, I really need to work more on the extracellular matrix with her.
Okay.
Now, your delivery system is going to be your nanoinfusion or your microneedling, but then also in your ingredient technology, encapsulations with like liposomes, which the encapsulations are made of lipids, which mimic our own lipids in the skin. So when you apply it, it's able to go through deeper through the barriers because it goes through the cells and then it attaches to our own lipids, which drives it even deeper. And it takes it right to the cell communication pathways, which starts to tell the cells what to do and how to perform. So it's really important that the ingredient synergy and all of them are working together to get that true skin transformation. You'll see such a difference in long-term skin health, the firmness, the plumping, the hydration, the smoothness when you combine all of it together.
It makes sense because like I was thinking of the analogy of like I just did functional medicine testing and my gut right now is not healthy, so I'm deficient in vitamins, so my gut doesn't have like the healthy environment to absorb. It's not absorbing vitamins. So basically what you're saying is like creating a healthy environment in the skin so that it's able to absorb the skincare ingredients.
Exactly.
How does one know that the skin needs, like we need to work on the cellular?
The SGAGs?
Yeah. How do, like, what are some signs
So you're
going to
see irregularity in texture, loss of elasticity, all of those that we look at it as estheticians and say, okay, we need to boost collagen, which is great, yes. But you need to give the fibroblast that cellular energy it needs, where the neodermal comes in and our ingredient technology to boost it, as well as the SGAGs. It's all a part of the aging process. It starts to become depleted. So if you see these signs in your client's skin, this is going to be a crucial part to use things to boost the SGAGs, which in turn will stimulate fibroblasts, but they're the organizers. They're the structure. They're the binders of the hyaluronic to keep everything hydrated. If we don't have that, hyaluronic just basically goes into the extracellular matrix and it just runs through as waste. So that's an essential part of it.
Lately, I've been seeing a lot of skincare products like this is the only one. I saw one girl say this is the only product you'll ever need, but I'm like, the way you're speaking about it is this synergy of different ingredients and products and like basically like vitamins and minerals that we need, right? So it's important. What do you think is the biggest misconception in skincare?
Well, like we were just saying, that one ingredient alone is going to be the transformation. It's really a combination of balancing skin health to really see, the transformation. So we need to target everything.
And when you're looking at like different skin conditions, because obviously with the SGAGs, you're talking more about like anti-aging, right?
Correct.
So with someone that has like acne, what is going on in the system that we need to correct?
Well, in that, diet is going to be one of the big things as well. But also the hyaluronic, because even people with problematic skin still need hydration. So it's more about balancing, because if you're dehydrated, then you're going to start to produce more oils, and then that can tend to clog. So it's really about keeping the skin clean and having a diet that's not so high in fat. A lot of people don't know now, but beef tallow is really big.
Yeah.
As far as adding that to your diet, but it's really an enemy to someone who's prone to breaking out because those essential fatty acids are going to stimulate the skin more to produce more oil and then cause more clogging. And then your diet, if you just increase the vitamin A, So we're talking about ingredients and delivery systems, but there's also the stimulation of the muscles, the massage.
Okay.
Because when you start to release the fascia is made up of collagen and elastin. And when that gets tense and constricted, the lymph flow, it doesn't allow the toxins. And this is also going to help people, even with acne, where you're doing that light fascia for the release, to allow the lymphatic flow to go smoother so that you can eliminate the toxins and the inflammation. So it's not just the product you're putting on, but it's your technique and the massage and releasing the fascia and opening up the lymphatic system so that we're eliminating the toxins as well. So that's a really important part of it.
And then also, I don't think you covered the ozone therapy and the energetics part of it.
Yeah, so the ozone is another delivery system. So when we're doing the massage, we're using ozone, but ozone's also a delivery system for your ingredients, as well as in the massage, you're stimulating the microcirculation, pulling blood as the carrier of nutrients. It's going to pull it to the surface and oxygenate the cells. So it's, again, ozone's more of creating the environment for the delivery to be more effective. So that's why it's really important.
Yeah, and then your protocols have all of these delivery systems in like one facial, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do a layering with the different delivery systems. If we're talking about nano and like microneedling, you know, there's a cascade of healing that takes place, which we want with the microneedling, the injury. Are you familiar with cytokines?
No.
Okay.
Well, it sounds familiar, but...
So cytokines are small proteins that are released from the cells when it's communicating with other cells to repair. So we're stimulating in the treatment, then we're going in to do nano or microneedling. We're already triggering the cytokines to release, and that's to regulate inflammation, repair, and regenerate. So it's really important. So again, with ingredients, we want to create that environment to trigger the cytokines, and that we do with the ozone and the EGF. Because, you know, what's really big with skin fitness, which you probably know, is recovery. I talk about it all the time. We have to recover the skin. This is one of the reasons we want to recover it, is because we're releasing the cytokines, and the EGF and ozone is creating that perfect environment to stimulate it, which is going to in turn build the new collagen stronger and better and quicker. So there's a reason why you have recovery. And I think that's an important step for estheticians to enhance the treatments they're doing now.
Yeah, I think with your protocols, they're so easy to follow because everything feels intentional.
Right.
Like, I understand as an esthetician everything that I'm doing, why I'm doing it.
Right.
And then also, too, with the skincare as well. Like, I love the is it EFG or EGF?
EGF.
I always say it wrong.
Yes.
EGF and the ozone are by far my two favorite products to use.
They're amazing for recovering all types of skin, because if it's acne, it's going to help. So the EGF is going to get rid of the redness around the blemish much quicker than if you were not to use. With the recovery, the epidermal growth factor, our bodies naturally produce it when we injure ourselves. So it's always good when you're using ingredients that are going to enhance that process, not just the microneedling and, you know, waiting for the bodies to heal, but create the environment to make it optimal. And that's what the ozone and EGF is going to do for all skin conditions that you're treating.
Okay, and then so at the Philly show, are you going to go deep into each ingredient and how each is delivered?
Yes, we're going to go into the extracellular matrix, you know, what it's composed of, the deficiencies, and we're going to talk about the ingredient technology that's going to activate this, you know, communication network, give it the bioavailable energy that the cells need to produce new collagen. And then also we're going to talk about the fillers, the lipid, the fat cell filler, and also the acylated hyaluronic, and how it's going to affect the treatments long term.
I'm like, do you mind talking a little bit about the filler and how it's unique from others?
Yes. So there's two topical fillers where you get immediate, instant filler effects. One of them is called Redensin, and it's commiferal mucal. It's a resin, a plant resin, that what it actually does is it stimulates the lipids within the fat cell, and then it gives it a slight expansion. As it does it, it's filling in. the lines and wrinkles. So as we age, we start to lose the fat, the muscle where we want it.
Mm-hmm.
So what it's going to do is plump it up and volumize it. That gives you an instant effect. Our second filler is an acetylated hyaluronic. So most hyaluronic, as we were talking in the beginning, remain on the surface. The acetylated is a smaller, broken down molecule that, breaks through the barrier, delivers deeper into the layers, and stabilizes the hyaluronic, that form, and it gives it a plumping effect that takes place within 1 to 6 hours. But when you combine it with nanoinfusion or microneedling, it takes it even deeper. So those are how those two fillers work.
Yeah.
The other two, the Titanol or the GAGs that we spoke about, and the neodermal is the bioavailable cellular energy that boosts the fibroblast cells to produce new collagen. So the fibroblasts need a lot of energy to launch it to make new collagen.
I feel like a class like this is really important because we know ingredients as estheticians, but there's so many different types of like hyaluronic acid, like you're saying, or how they're formulated is super important. And sometimes it's difficult to even communicate to your clients why like maybe some drugstore products aren't the same as like medical grade, professional skincare products. So this will be like a good class to take. To just have the information to explain.
Right, because then you'll understand the delivery systems, why they're so effective. Again, most, it's probably drugstore products. They're going to feel good on the skin temporarily, but we're talking about long-term skin health. And as estheticians, that's what we're the goal is to get the results for the clients, that it's going to be more long-term.
What is the real secret to effective skincare?
So the real secret is when you combine, when you have ingredient synergy with a delivery system and a cellular network. So peptides are huge in communicating with the cells. They're like sending text messages to perform. They're not fillers. Peptides are not fillers. They're performers. So when you combine a synergy of ingredients together, which I will teach, for example, vitamin C works best with vitamin C to absorb. That's where you're going to get optimal skin regeneration.
Okay. And where do you think the future of skincare is heading?
I think the future of skincare I see it as going as less invasive, where we're not forcing change in the skin, but we're allowing the skin cells to change themselves. So we're each transforming on our own level. I see it as more non-injectables. People are looking for alternatives to that. So I see it as, for estheticians, it's an amazing time because there's advanced treatments that are not under a medical scope. It's under their license. We're going to be talking about that in Philly as well. And you can really make big transformative changes with the advancement in ingredient technology. So less invasive, more natural approach, like a fitness approach, which is what we take.
Yeah. Just
pure nutrition. I say, like I said in the very beginning when I started Skin Fitness, pure and simple. Back to basics nutrition for the skin. So let's learn everything we can about how the skin functions and let's target those deficiencies. That's really my passion and what I always work when I'm developing. Is what I'm looking at is how can we reach this at the cellular level and see transformative change, but as a more natural approach.
Yeah. No, I think that you guys fit where the future of skincare is heading because like even we had someone on the podcast the other day talking about Korean skincare and just saying that it's really the consistency in like the Korean culture that they get facials. Like if you don't go get a facial, they're like, what? Like it's like if you're not working out, you're not, doing, you can't expect to lose weight or to be healthy if you're not working out. Same thing with your skin. And I feel like everyone's realizing like, oh, quick fixes are just not working. They're going back to like, how they looked before or they're looking worse. Or they're just not, achieving the results that they want. So I think that, I love Skin Fitness. And lately I've been obsessed with your guys' peels.
Oh, good.
Because now I have like 5 different peels. So I just I love that I get to use whichever one I feel is like right for the client. So.
And that's the thing is learning more about how the skin functions You're able to really pick the right treatments, the right ingredients. You can look and say, okay, let me bring these two together. It makes a huge difference. And, you know, there's a lot of things. You said that I saved you don't have to put this on there, but I saved the Facebook. And I think it was a doctor saying, you know how they tell you to rate? Okay, rate Botox, rate this, rate that. Rate facials. Facials was at like at the bottom, at like a 9. And I just thought, you know, that is the foundation of, you know, taking the natural approach, you know, really cleansing the skin, the massage, releasing the fascia, the lymphatic drainage, using the right ingredients, all that synergy transforms the skin. Now you're using foreign substances in the skin like Botox, you know, and fillers that really we don't know. I mean, I saw clinical studies supposedly out now that the Botox goes to the brain and the brainstem. But, you know, it's like working out. You know, people are taking the shots to lose weight, you know, but what would be the best way to lose weight?
Is eating healthy,
eating healthy and working out, going to the gym.
Yeah.
That's going to be the best way to do it.
For example, like with the shots and stuff, I mean, I did it for a little bit for PCOS. My mom did it for almost a year, and I lost so much muscle. And it was so hard to get my muscle back.
Right.
And my mom right now, too, is like she doesn't even want to go to the gym because she's like, I feel like I can't keep up because she feels so weak.
Weak. I was just going to say she feels weak.
Yeah, she feels weak.
So that's another... You know, that's another trend if people can just come back to simple, you know, basics of healthy eating, you know, exercise, whatever it is that is going to motivate you to go. It could be a walk. It could be dancing. I love Zumba. You know, whatever it is that you like to do, you know, just take it back to the basics of, you know, don't put so much pressure on yourself to lose weight. You know, start with small goals. I was talking to someone, Peyton, who has acne. She breaks out. So I was talking to her about her diet. She's like, well, I do have a lot of sugar. I do drink a lot of soda. I was like, okay, well, don't cut it out totally. Cut back a little bit. We'll start with that. You know, like, don't do things so drastic that you know you're not able to do. Set up little goals that you know you are. But I guarantee you in the end, you're going to feel better. You're not going to feel as weak. You're going to feel stronger. And your skin's going to love you for it, too.
Yeah.
Because you're going to look better. There's nothing better than doing it more naturally. There really is.
What you said, like smaller steps go a long way.
Yeah, just smaller goals.
More sustainable.
More sustainable goals, you know, so you don't feel like, you know, you failed.
Well, if you Esties want to just have the knowledge to educate your clients on just like this topic, and I think that helps with client retention too in the treatment room, really getting people to come and book because they understand like this is a lifelong thing. I need to take care of my skin. I really recommend coming to the class so you have that knowledge. So do you guys know your booth number?
I think it's 800. Yeah. 800.
So they're number 800. Go visit them. They have everything from acne boot camp to nanoinfusion with topical filler. Do you want to talk any more protocols that you have?
We're going to also be doing the Flame and Frost,
which is very popular.
Yeah, and we'll be doing demos in the booth on our different beauty tasters. We have our blueberry wine facial. The salicylic, which is going to be acne driven, so we'll be able to teach you. Yeah, that's the best.
Yes, my favorite product right now, I highly recommend for any of your acne clients, is the salicylic and sulfur cleanser, which I'll use as a mask sometimes too.
Yeah, you can leave it on overnight.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
those are your two best ingredients for acne.
Yes. Bye, Esties.
Bye.